Good afternoon, students. Today we are going to discuss about one more topic in the module 3, that is data warehousing. In your previous semester, you are studied about database management system. Yes or no? So these databases are useful for online transaction processing such as banking systems. Whereas when we move to analysis part, this database is not much sufficient. That means in today's world, the data is generating in terms of terabytes and exabytes. So, and the data is generated at different sources or gathered from different sources. So, to store this data, the operational databases is not enough. We need a huge data storage structure, that is data warehouse. Okay, so we'll see what actually the data warehouse is. Data warehousing. Data warehousing is a organized or to define data warehouse. Data warehouse is an organized collection of integrated subject-oriented databases designed to aid decision support functions. Okay. There are many different ways to define the data warehouse. That is a decision support database that is maintained separately from the organization operational database, or it can be told as it is a support information processing by providing a solid platform of consolidated historical data for analysis. Okay, so according to WH Inmon, okay, WH Inmon, data warehouse is nothing but a subject oriented, integrated, time variant and non-violent collection of data in support of management's decision making process. This is actually the definition of data warehouse. So the process of constructing and using the data warehouses we call it as data warehousing. Okay, data warehouse is nothing but collection of data that supports decision making. Okay, so the process of constructing and using the data warehouse we call it as a data warehousing. So let us discuss what actually these terms are. What is subject oriented, integrated, time variant, non-violent, all this one by one. So when I say subject oriented, okay, so subject oriented, a data warehouse is organized around major subjects such as customer, supplier, okay, product, sales, student, faculty, like that. Rather than constructing on the day-to-day operations and transaction processing of an organization, a data warehouse focuses on the modeling and analysis of data for decision makers. Okay, it will concentrate on modeling and analysis. Hence, data warehouses typically provides a simple and concise view around particular subjects issues by excluding data that are not useful in the decision support process. That's why it is subject oriented, means it concentrates on a particular subject. When I say subject, it can be customer data, it can be product data, it can be sales data, and so on. So integrated. Second thing is the data warehouse is integrated. Integrated means a data warehouse is usually constructed by integrating multiple heterogeneous sources such as relational database, flat files, and online transaction records. Okay. So here data cleaning and data integration techniques are applied to ensure consistency in naming convention, encoding structure, attribute measures, and so on. Integrated means what? We are integrating the data from different sources. Okay, different sources. That time we are collecting from different sources. The format of the same data may be different in different sources. So that has to be taken care so that there is no inconsistency. So time variant. Time variant. So data are stored to provide information from the historical perspective. Say for example, past 5 to 10 years. Okay. Every key structure in the data warehouse contains either implicitly or explicitly an element of time. Say say for example, prediction of rainfall today. Okay, whether the rain will be there or not. Okay, to predict that, the weather forecasting station, okay, the analysts, they may use the historical data. So 5 to 10 years of historical data. So the data warehouse will be maintaining time variant data. Then non-volatile. Non-volatile means a data warehouse is always a physically separated store of data transformed from the application data found in the operational environment. Due to this separation, the data warehouse does not require transactional processing, okay, recovery and concurrency control mechanism. It is usually requires only two operation in data accessing, that is initial loading of data and access of data. So the here non-volatile. Non-volatile means what? Here it is not volatile. That means what? It is not temporary, right? Okay. So data warehouse should be persistent. It should be persistent. That is, it should not be created on the fly from the operational databases. Okay. Thus, a data warehouse is consistently available for analysis across the organization over time. The next we have summarized. Okay, the data warehouse have a summarized data. That means what? As I told, it is a historical data. Historical data. It will be having historical data here. In the databases, if we consider, we are storing the data in a detailed form. Okay, like if you take a customer table, we'll take customer name, customer id, customer age, okay, address, phone number, like that. Each customer wise we are taking. That means we have a detailed data there. Whereas in data warehouse, it collects the data from different sources like operational database and flat file data. It will summarize and keep it as a measure or a count. Okay, that is summarized form of data is available, and which is historical, that is available in the data warehouse. Say for example, like when we take the location. Okay, if I take the location, okay, if I take the location, so let us take an example of location. Okay, location. So location means what? Here we will be having in the location, we'll be having the low level city. Okay, city. Above that city, we will be having a state. Okay, state. Then above that, we will be having a country. Okay, country. So if the manager of a company want to know the sales, okay, what has happened in the city Bangalore, you will go to this level. Okay, this level. So the salesperson would have collected the sales city wise. Okay, city wise of a particular state. Okay, then if the manager want to know at the state level, okay, so area manager will collect through the city level, regional manager will collect through the state level. So if the regional manager want to know the sales, okay, of that particular state, then all the city sales, okay, each city's sales has to be summarized and should be taken in the state level. Yes or no? Okay. So say for example, there is a product P1. In the city 1, it has sold 10 pieces. In city 2, it has sold 20 pieces. And in city 3, it has sold 60 pieces. So these cities are belonging to a state 1. Okay. The cities are of state 1, suppose, if we think. Okay. Then what is the sales happened in state 1? That is 10 plus 20 plus 60. So thus we called as a summarized. Okay. So this we called as a hierarchy. This city, state, country, this level. So you can just cut down country wise you want, or state wise you want, or city wise. Not normalized. Okay. Not normalized means here we are not going for ER diagram or normalized tables in data warehouse. Okay. So here we are using a schema called star schema, which I am going to discuss later. Okay. So this thing, a single table in the star schema, there will be one table called fact table. okay, which will be summarizing, okay, summarizing all the subtables. Okay, summarized data will be kept in the fact table. So not normalized means here we no need to bother about the normalization of the data, since we are maintaining the data in the form of a summarized form. Okay, next we have a metadata. So metadata, what is metadata? Metadata is nothing but data about the data. When used in the data warehouse, metadata are the data that define warehouse objects. Okay, warehouse objects. So here, many of the variables in the database are computed from other variables in the operational database. Say, for example, total daily sales may be a computed field. Sales means it should be it is computed. Sales means it is computed in terms of location, time, and product. Yes or no? So the method of its calculation for each variable should be effectively documented. So every element in the data warehouse should be sufficiently well defined. So data about the data. So the structure of the data, what is the size of the data, everything should be maintained. So data about the data. Okay. So this metadata. These are the some of the way. Okay, that is design consideration for the data warehousing. Okay. Now, next we have, there are two types of approaches. Data warehousing development approach. There are two fundamental different approaches to develop the data warehouse. Okay, that is, one is top-down approach, another is bottom-up approach. The top-down approach is to make the comprehensive data warehouse that covers all the reporting needs of the enterprises. Whereas bottom-up approach, okay, is to produce small data marts for the reporting needs of different departments or functions as needed. So here you can see, observe here that top-down approach, okay, in the top-down approach, okay, the data warehouse is designed first. Okay, data warehouse is designed first, then the data mart. Okay, data mart. Okay, then the data mart are built on top of the data warehouse. That means here first we are dividing the data warehouse, then we are constructing the data mart. So to, in simple words, what is data warehouse and data mart, I'll tell you. Let us assume the college central library is like a data warehouse. All departments, the books will be available there in one place. That is data warehouse. Okay, consolidated books, everything. Okay, the where will be available. Whereas data mart, we can just consider as a department library. Okay, it will be like department wise, the library will be there. So it will not be so huge as the central library. The central library will be very huge. Yes or no? It consists of all the books of all the department. Okay, all the department, and it will be organized. Yes or no? So so here, if the particular department student want to take a book, like a CS department student want to take a book of his or her subject, then he has to go to central library. So access it will be in the somewhere far, right? To access to make the accessing faster, department library can be found, right? So instead of going to the central library, it can be easily taken from the department library. Access time will be very less in the when taking the data from the department library. So like that, here also data warehouse and data mart we have. So data mart is like, it is nothing but data storage constructed for constructed subject wise. Whereas data warehouse, okay, data warehouse, it is a collection of the all the subjects. Okay, it is a collection of all integrated subjects. So here in top down approach, first we are constructing the data warehouse. There is the difference in the top down approach and the bottom up approach. So first we are constructing the data warehouse, okay, and then we are constructing the data mart. Okay, whereas in the bottom up approach, first we will be constructing the data mart, then we will be combining all the data mart, and we will be forming the data warehouse. So this is the main difference here. Okay, where actually the data warehouse is constructed, where actually the data mart is constructed. The difference between these two approach lays there. Okay, so here, okay, so bottom up approach, that means what we are doing, we are constructing the data mart first and then the data warehouse. The same thing here, it is shown here. So we are collecting the data from different sources. It can be operational database, it can be flat file, or it can be any OLAP operations like that. Then we are using the staging area where we will be in detail. I'll show you in the next slide what is that ETL, extract, transform, load. We will be doing data pre-processing as we discussed in the last class. Okay, once the data pre-processing is done, the data will be stored into a huge data warehouse. The data warehouse will be constructed. Then from data warehouse, the data mart is constructed. So this entire thing will be used for data mining techniques, used by the data mining technique for to serve the business needs. Okay. So here the same thing, we have the bottom up approach. So same initial thing, we are collecting the gathering and selecting the data, and we are doing the data pre-processing. After that, after data pre-processing, we are constructing the data mart based on the subject wise. Okay, then all the subjects are or data mart are combined together and formed as a data warehouse, and which is further used for data mining or OLAP operation front end. Okay, for user purpose or business purpose. These are the some of the differences between the data mart and data warehouse. Okay, so as I told, data mart is one subject or functional area, whereas data warehouse is complete enterprise data needs. That is, it a data warehouse represents the entire organization or entire enterprise data. So whereas data mart, it is functional area reporting and insights, whereas data warehouse is deeper insight connecting multiple functional area. So here data mart, it is decentralized, whereas data warehouse is centralized. So time is, access time is very less for data mart, whereas the data warehouse will be huge because it is a huge storage. So we have to use the indexing, all this, and we have to check where actually we have to go for first metadata repository, then we have to check, okay, where actually the data is stored, then we have to pick the data. So it takes time. So that's why here time taken is high, whereas time taken in data mart is low. Then the cost of constructing the data mart is very less compared to a data warehouse. So size is very less compared to the data warehouse size. And data mart is bottom up approach, whereas data warehouse is constructed using top down approach. So complexity is less, okay, compared to the data warehouse. Okay, the complexity of data mart, okay, is less compared to the data warehouse. So this the technology used for data mart is small scale servers and databases, whereas for data warehouse it is industrial strength. Next, we move on to the data warehouse architecture. Okay, architecture. So you can just visualize the data warehouse architecture like this. So here we have different stages. If you see this here, it is given horizontally. If you just see tilt it to the vertical, okay, we can just show at the bottom level. Okay, tilt it to the vertical. Okay, vertically if you see this as a bottom, data source as a bottom, and accessing users and application as a top level. Okay, so if you do this, so at the bottom we have data sources, that is operations, ERP systems, legacy system, point of sales. Okay, like that we have different levels. So at the low level, that is at the low level, at the bottom level, at the bottom level we have different sources. Okay, so we have different sources. On top of that, we have a data transformation. That means what? ETL, whatever I was telling, ETL. Okay, staging area we say. Okay, staging area we say. Then we have a actual OLAP servers. Okay, data warehouse and data marts will be there here. Then next we have the top, that is front end tools. This is front end tools. So data sources. What are data sources? From where actually the data are gathered and selected. Okay, gathered and selected. So here you can just see what are the different data sources in detail. In the next slide I'll tell you. So in the data sources we have operational databases and external files. So ERP system, legacy system, point of sale, RFID system, web usage. These are the some of the operational sources we have, okay, to collect the data. Whereas external sources can be suppliers, customers, government, like this external sources. Once the data is collected from these operational sources, okay, and it will be given to a next stage, that is data transformation. Because why we have to transform the data? We have to transform the data to the level or the format in which we want, okay. We have to transform the data the way we need it, okay, the way we need it. So what we do, uh, we do the ETL process. So we select the data, we will extract the data which is required, and we will cleanse the data. Cleanse the data means what? In the data mining, we discussed in the previous class that cleansing the data is nothing but removing the missing value, removing the outlier, filling removing the noise, yes or no, filling the missing value, okay, all this we discuss. So that will be done. So compute data fields, integrated data, and load data. Integrate data, load data, that means what? Say for example here, this data transformation means that we are converting the format, we are just removing the inconsistency. Removing the inconsistency means here the data is collected from different sources, okay, different sources. The source can be a MySQL, the source can be Oracle, okay. The date, to say one example, the date represented in Oracle and the date representation in MySQL are different, okay. Suppose there is a one table called product, and in that product there is one attribute called date of purchase, okay, or expiry date, okay, expiry date. So here the product table would have stored in Oracle, the product table would have stored in the DBMS called MySQL. So we are collecting from different sources. So I'm collecting the data about product, but I have a expiry date in different format, okay. So what I have to do to avoid this inconsistency, I have to transform to a particular format. That actually will be done here, okay. And missing values, okay, noise, everything will be taken care. So the data will be converted into a quality data. That is the main intention, okay. The data will be converted into a quality data. Next we will move on to data mart or warehouse. So data mart or warehouse, here once the data is gathered and once the data is transformed, so we will be storing the data in the form of a data mart or in the form of a data warehouse as per the requirement of the organization. So it can be one data mart for each department or a warehouse for the whole enterprise. Next, once the warehouse is constructed, this data can be given to a analysis part. Okay, that is OLAP servers. Okay, front end data mining techniques can be applied, or machine learning techniques, visualization, data visualization techniques. Okay, all these things can be applied so that the data can be represented in the form the user can understand, okay. So that is OLAP tools, reporting tools, dashboards, the data, okay, the sales data that the manager want to know what is the sales, okay, monthly wise. So you can just represent the sales in a graphical, so he can clearly make out that the sales is gone up or come down by just seeing the graph. So no, by if you are giving the bar chart or line graph, okay, so you can easily, the manager can come to know, okay, the sales has grown, what else to be done, or the sales have gone down, what else to be done, like this. So you are representing, once you are collecting the data and you are storing into the data mart or data warehouse, then using the visualization tool or data mining tool, you are analyzing and visualizing, okay, visualizing the data to the outside world, okay, to the end users. So end users can be managers or browsers or as any people, okay. So this is about the data warehouse architecture. Next we have the different sources of data. So different sources of data, that is operations data, specialized application, external syndicated data. Operations data, nothing but, so here this operation data include data from all business applications, that is including from ERP systems that form the backbone of an organization IT systems. The data can be extracted. The data to be extracted will depend upon the subject matter of the data warehouse. Say, for example, for the sales or marketing data mart, only the data about the customer orders, customer service, and so on would be extracted. So, student data, faculty data is not required for the sales, right? So specialized application. So specialized application means this includes applications such as point of sale, we call in short POS, point of sale terminals, and e-commerce applications that also provide customers facing data. Suppliers data could come from supply chain management system. Planning and budget data should also be added as needed for making comparison against targets. Next is external syndicated data. External syndicated data includes publicly available data such as weather or economic activity data. It can also be added to the data warehouse as needed, okay, to provide a good contextual information to decision makers. So syndicated data. So syndicated data here, external syndicated data. Oh, it is external syndicated data. Okay. Next, we have data loading process. Yeah, as I told, data loading process. The heart of useful data warehouse is the process of populating the data warehouse with good quality data. That is, okay. So this is called as ETL, extract, transform, load cycle. ETL, extract, transform, load cycle. So whatever I was telling, the data, if it is not quality data, then the result will also be not quality. Yes or no? Okay. So the quality leads to a good results or good business intelligent, uh, good business. So here the data should be extracted from the operational or transactional data sources as well as from other application as a regular basis. So extracted data should be aligned together by key fields and integrated into a single data set. It should be cleansed of any irregularity or missing values. It should be rolled up together to the same level of granularity. Month wise means month wise, year wise means year wise. Okay. So desired fields such as daily sales total should be computed. The entire data should then be brought to the same format as a central table of a data warehouse. That's what data extraction means. What? Get the data from multiple heterogeneous and external sources. Data cleaning means detect errors in the data and rectify them when possible. Data transformation means converting data from legacy or host format to warehouse format. Okay, host format to a warehouse format, data warehouse format. Next, the transformed data should be uploaded into a data warehouse, that is loading. That is what we do, sort, summarize, and consolidate it, and compute views, check integrity, and build in the indexes and partitions. Load means we will be loading the data, the cleaned data into a warehouse. Okay, warehouse. Warehouse is nothing but a storage. It is like a Godown. It will be a storage. So whenever new data okay comes in, so it has to be refreshed. So the changes, incremental change has to be done. So refresh means propagates the updates from the data source to the warehouse. So this ETL process, okay, extract, transform, load process should be run at a regular frequency. So daily transaction data can be extracted from ERPs, transformed and uploaded to a database the same day. Okay, same day itself. Thus, the data warehouse is to be up to date. Okay, up to date for the next movement. If the data warehouse need for near real-time transformation access, then the ETL process would need to be executed more frequently. Okay, so ETL works in usual done using ETL work is usually done using automated programming scripts that are written, tested, and then deployed for periodically updating the data warehouse. So this process is very, very important that to maintain the quality data. So if you see Flipkart, Amazon, and all, So once you ordered the product, okay, the next moment when you refresh the page, it should actually give the -1, okay, -1 to the total of the product. Yes or no? If it is showing 10 Samsung mobiles are available, already two are purchased from the customer, still it is showing 10 means it is wrong data. Yes or no? It should show 8. So it should be keep on getting updated. So next is data warehouse design. Okay, data warehouse is based on a multi-dimensional data model. Okay, which views the data in the form of a data cube. Okay, so data cube allows the multiple dimension. What is this here? Two things we have to understand. One is dimension and another is fact table. Dimension tables are like, as I told, dimensions are nothing but our database. Database tables, okay, it's like customer table, then the location table, okay, sales table, like that. It is just a table which will be having set of attributes, whereas fact table are nothing but it contains the key, primary key of primary key of each dimension table, and also the another type of value that we called as a measure. Okay, measure are nothing but it is a summarized data. Okay, it will be in terms of dollars sold, okay, or total number of count, number of products, like this. Fact table contains measures. Okay, fact table contains the key of all dimension table and the measures. I'll show in the next slide the example. It will be clear for you. So there are different types of data warehouse design. One is star schema. Okay, in the data base, we had a design using ER diagram, right? But in data warehouse, ER diagram is not applicable. So we have to go for a star schema or snowflake schema or fact constellation schema. Star schema means it will be having one fact table in the middle, surrounded by the dimension table. Whereas snowflake schema, uh, it is similar to a star schema, but it will be more normalized compared to the star schema. Normalized means here we will be digging down the dimension to a subtables. Okay, subtables. Fact constellation table schema means more than one fact table will be there. Okay, multiple fact table. Here in star schema and snowflake schema, only one fact table is there. Whereas in past fact constellation schema, multiple fact tables share dimension tables. Okay, which is viewed as star. Therefore, galaxy schema. It is called as galaxy schema. So this is one simple architecture of the star schema. So we have order data. This is fact table. Okay, fact table, and we have here different dimension table. You can say this is item, this is location, this is a customer. Okay, this is a time. Okay, this is time. So item, item name, item ID, all this region, location, location name, location ID, like this. Okay, then salesperson name, periodic month, like this. So this we have four table. So four table is having a primary key like item ID, region ID, salesperson ID, periodic ID. So if you see, we are keeping the primary key of this as a foreign key here. Yes or no? Okay, we are linking item ID, which we here in the orders data. Orders data is a fact table. Fact table means what? It will be having a link to a original table, and also it will be having a measures. Okay, in terms of a summarized data. Okay, so here item ID, it is linking to a dimension table called item. Okay, and salesperson ID, it will be linking to a table called salesperson, and region ID, it will be linking to a table called location or region, and period ID, it will be linking to a dimension called or a table called time. Period means time. Then other two values are there. Other two values are there. That is total sales. Total sales means what? Always it will be in terms of the count. Yes or no? Means number, whole number. Total sales, 20,000, like that. Sales quota. Sales quota means it will also in terms of a numerical value. So measures will always a numerical whole number. Okay, measures will be always a numerical number, that is whole number. Okay, so next, I'll take you one example. Okay, this is the star schema for sales. So sales means what? The sales can be happened in terms of a city. The sales can be taken in terms of a location. The sales can be identified in terms of a product. The sales can be identified in terms of a time. Yes or no? Say for example, manager want to know what is the sale in the month of January 2020. Okay, sales in the month of January 2020. So from fact table he has to refer only to a time. Okay, so month and year he has to just consider. So what if the manager want to know what is the sale? Okay, what is the total sale of a product mobile in the city Bangalore? Okay, in the city Bangalore in the month of January 2020. That time what we have to do? We have to include all three dimension table. Yes or no? So is asking for the total sales. Okay, total sales. Total sales means unit sold. The measure is unit sold. So to get the unit sold, we have to get the count. So he is asking that location Bangalore. Yes or no? Product is mobile and time is January 2020. Yes or no? So unit sold measure will give us the total sale. Okay, total sales. I hope you are understanding. Okay, so this is the star schema. That means we will be having a sales fact table. Well, if you see, observe this. Okay, these are the dimension table. Okay, these are the dimension table. Time key, day of the week, month, quarter, year. Okay, then branch key, branch name, branch type. Then these three things are measures. Okay, this will be in the numerical value. It will be available only in the fact table. Next we have item key, item name, brand type, supplier type, location key, street, city, state of prominence, country. So here we have so many in the fact table. If you observe, we have the link. Okay, that is foreign key. Okay, which is a primary key of the dimension table. Yes or no? Time key is a primary key of time. The item key, it is a primary of item. Branch key, primary key of branch key. So it is a link. It is having a link to all the dimension table. Along with that, it is having some measures called unit sold, dollar sold, average sales. So like this, we have to draw the star scheme. Next, we move on to data warehousing access. Okay, data warehousing access. So here, data from the data warehouse can be accessed for many purposes. Okay, by many users through different devices and systems. The primary use of data warehouse is to produce okay, routine management and monitoring reports. So we have online analytical processing system, OLAP system, are basically for querying and reporting purpose. Okay, so that help to slice the multidimensional data in a data warehouse and produce desired reports. Say for example, a sales performance report would show sales by many dimensions compared with the plan. Or one can request a list of all the products sold in the region in a certain price range during the certain time period and have them displayed in the report format. Say, as I told, the manager want to know what is the sales in Bangalore city, okay, in the month of January 2020 of product mobile. Okay, all this are available through the OLAP tools. So dashboarding system. Dashboarding system uses data from the warehouses and present analysis to the user. Yes or no? Graph in the form of a graph, pie chart. Okay, like that. The data from the data warehouse can be used to populate customized performance dashboards for executives. The dashboard could include drill down capabilities to analyze the performance data for root cause analysis. Drill down means what? If you have a data level at year, you can drill down to month. Okay, month to day wise, like that. That is drill down. Roll up means what? From city to state to country. From day to month to year. That we call it as a roll up. So data from data warehouse can be used for Hadoop. Okay, Hadoop queries and any other applications that make use of the internal data. Okay, these are the data warehouse access. So dashboard. And then data warehouse best practice. So data warehouse project should align with the corporate strategy. Okay, top management should be consulted for setting objectives. Okay, Financial viability should be established. The project must be managed by both IT and business professionals. The data warehouse design should be carefully tested from the beginning to the development work. It is often much more expensive to read, as it is very expensive to redesign the development work once it is bigger. Okay. So next, it is important to manage user expectation. Okay. It is important to manage user expectation. The data warehouse should be built incrementally. That is, users should be trained in using the system so that they can absorb many features of the system. The next is quality and adaptability should be built in from the start. Uh, Only relevant, cleaned, and high quality data should be loaded in the data warehouse. The system should be able to adapt to a new tools for access. As business needs changes, new data marts may need to be created for new needs. So these are the some of the practices that we have to take. So here, data to conclude, data warehouses are special data management facility intended for creating reports and analysis to support managerial decision making. So data warehouses are designed to make reporting and querying simple and efficient. Okay. The sources of data are operational systems and external data sources. A data warehouse need to be updated with new data regularly to keep it up to date. Okay, and useful. Data from data warehouse provides a useful input for data mining activities. Okay, thank you.